On to race number 9, the Northern Trotting Derby, the second of the Group 1 features for the night. In Escapee, well, she did blow the last start. We're taking you back 2 starts ago when leading up. She's now actually unruly. This was Escapee back on the 20th of April, winning at the park.
In behind them next, Super Bowl Cheerleader. Further away then we've got Cyclone New Bolt, and then came No Boundaries. Escapee in front at the 100 metres. A length and a half clear. Make it 2, make it 2.5, and it's starting to draw away. Escapee in a class of her own. Second over as they went across was Triumphant Monarch, then followed by Super Bowl Cheerleader. Next over was No Boundaries. Lot of Love ran on late.
That was Escapee 2 starts ago, as mentioned. She blew the start last week. Craig, understand from the Stripes report, Mark Purdon did pass on. She got very keen in the score up and actually struck the wheel. She's now unruly at the request of her trainers.
That's right, Jess. She had an excuse. Just shows you there's no certainties in racing, isn't it? We thought last week that she would have continued on that winning way, but over-raced in the score-up and then started to strike the sulky wheels, Jess. She galloped on more than one occasion, was never in the race, pulled up halfway through the journey. So very disappointing. She's been placed on the unruly this week, and I think that'll help her, Jess. I think from back there she'll get a chance to settle in the race. She was in great form leading up to that event. The 2,700 metres is ideal for her, so she'll get plenty of time to get into the race, and you only have to go back 2 weeks to see how good she was. So got to stay with Escapee. Jess, she's a great filly in super form, the winner of over $100,000.
Well, she, of course, won the New Zealand Trotting Derby. This is the Northern Trotting Derby last year, taken out by Paramount Gigi. Cardon, a filly, was good enough to win 2 years ago. Of course, the ill-fated Cardon, Sovereignty, and one over Kenny, some of the past winners of this Group 1. A lot of love, that race that Escapee to break in the start. She was never in it. But this was the race last week. A lot of love taking it out for Paul Nairn. The 3-year-old filly by Love You. It was win number 2, start number 7. You can see her in front, Stent, who actually broke at the start, recovers very, very well to finish second. He galloped so much that they had to check to see if he hadn't actually exceeded the limit he could gallop. But this is Lot of Love, winning last week, beating home Stent, who will also line up in the Northern Trotting Derby.
Is Triumphant Monarch is down the outside. Stent is starting to warm up, but it's still Lot of Love and Paul Nairn out by 2 lengths at the 100 metres. In second spot, Stent, followed by on the inside Triumphant Monarch. But what a night for Paul Nairn. He gets another one with Lot of Love. Second over Stent, third at the line Triumphant Monarch. Then we had
Well, he's no stranger to winning big races at Alexandra Park, Craig, and Lot of Love just seems to progress each time she hits the track.
Well, she does, Jess. She just seems to be getting better and better, and I think racing in the north is really suiting her at the moment. We alluded to her last week in the video behind Escapee, how well that she hit the line. She took further improvement off that run. The team seemed to fire last week. Brookside filly, 57 to 1. You never see Paul Nairn runners pay that sort of money, but she was great, and she's got the right draw from Barrier 1, and manners are good. She can get off the gate quite nicely. Probably Super Bowl Cheerleader outside her has good gate speed as well, but she's going to stay handy to the speed, and just the way that she's racing at the moment, I don't think the 2,700 metres holds any fears, Jess. So I think number 1, Lot of Love, you really have to consider her as a very good and serious threat to the favourite Escapee. As we look at the market now, we've got her at $5.50. Super Bowl Cheerleader for Michelle Wallace and David Butcher, $12, racing really well, has a nice draw. Stent at $6. Well, as you alluded to, Jess, galloped early on and made a very good recovery to run second last week. $6 for him. Then we start to get down to horses like Not Likely. Racing for the new connections this week. Andrew Grant takes the drive. Haven't seen her since the Derby. 13 to 1. And Escapee, your favourite, off the unruly at $1.50. I think she'll run through quite a few multis again this week, Jess, and if she gets luck in the running, she's been our best filly throughout the season, the winner of the Derby and the Oaks. I'd like to see her do it right on the night, and I think we may see it this Friday night.
Yeah, interesting to see Not Likely back in the field. We haven't seen her since heading to Addington. Do you think being back at the park will help her somewhat?
Well, I think it's not so much getting back to the park, Jess, it's settling in her races. She started to get a little bit wound up in her last 2 starts, and Frank Cooney mentioned after the Trotting Derby that she just started to over-race, and that's why she galloped mid-stages. She can get a little bit hot. She's coming in fresh on Friday night. Don't think the 2,700 is a problem. She's a very good stayer. It's just if she can settle in her races, and if she showed what she did at Auckland over the Christmas Carnival, she's certainly not without a winning chance in a race like this. Very high speed filly, just got to settle in her races.